Hey, what's up, everybody? It's John Henry here at the Backstage at Open Highway podcast. What's going on? Thank you for joining me. This is episode 2 of our little podcast, Backstage at Open Highway. Speaking of that, we announced our festival and went on sale. We have a festival. Thank you so much. So, Jason Isbell in the 400 unit, Blackberry Smoke, the Heavy, S.G. Goodman, Beth Bombara, Sleepy Rubies, Matt Jordan, Hillary Fitz, the Funky Butt Brass Band, and our guest today. She's going to be joining me in a little bit here, Mattie Schell. So the announcement and the on sale of the festival have been amazing. Thank you, everybody. It's selling really well. And I'm not trying to freak you out or make you buy tickets to a music festival. You'll have the best weekend of your life. But we are at 90% sold of the seated passes and close to 80% for the weekend passes. So both of those are going to be, selling out soon. So if you want to do those, do those. You can get all of that information at Open Highway Music. OpenHighwayMusic.com. That's the right email address for sure. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. So I'm thrilled with our lineup this year. Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. They're it's a dream artist. Been wanting to have them on Open Highway for a long time. I go back a long ways with that camp, that team, Jason Isbell and the band. Did a bunch of their club shows throughout the years and even did one in Columbia in 2008, early 2009. So I've been working with him and his agent and his management since then. And I even played some shows with him on the artist side. We played the Sheldon once. It was really cool. Love playing the Sheldon. Great venue in St. Louis. Check out the Sheldon. But Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. Should get the band name right, eh? Weather Vanes is their new record, June 9th. And as I'm recording this is Sunday night, but my wife and I were watching the documentary that came out on HBO. It's streaming now. It's called Running with Our Eyes Closed. Check it out. It's really great. Kind of behind the scenes view of Jason and the band and the producer and, the whole team that works with that. Additionally, his wife, who's an amazing artist, Amanda Shires. Check her out. Highly recommend that. Her music. She's great. Yeah, that whole band. So we're thrilled about that. Blackberry Smoke, just a killer modern Southern rock band, I'd say. Is the best way to describe it. I mean, you can kind of break it down into a few different ways, but just shit-kicking cool rock and roll. So that's going to be great. Heavy, S.G. Goodman. If you haven't checked them out, you should. If you live in the St. Louis or Columbia, Missouri area, they're getting a lot of play on 102.3 BXR, who's one of our media sponsors. So shout out to BXR in Columbia, AAA. Good stuff. Holla, check it out. But we're thrilled. Like I said, those seats are selling well. So please tell your friends. And I can't thank you enough. Number one, and we rely on you, our audience, as the main way of getting the message of kind of what we're doing across to folks. So, besides buying tickets, which is the biggest thing you could do to help our fest, the second best thing you could do is just tell a friend. Keep it simple. We try to keep things simple. We're a small team. We're about 4 people primarily. And then, we bring in, crew and staffing as we need it. But day to day, it's a small team. So I wanted to spend just a minute here kind of telling you how we're able to put this on. And the way we're able to put this on, Open Highway Music Fest, is through sponsorship. I wanted to highlight 2 of our sponsors. As I mentioned, we rely on on our supporters and our sponsors. And it's nice when you get to work with people who are like-minded, who understand what you're trying to do, who give you the space to work, and who support you. And that's what U.S. Soy and the Regional Arts Commission have done. U.S. Soy, their mission is to spread the word about the sustainability and all of the different ways in which soy is consumed in our daily lives. And they're a group of independent farmers like us. We're not farmers. You get what I was saying, but very, very cool organization, very supportive. Going to be bringing some farmers out this year to take in the music, so that's going to be great. So if you see them, say hello. And the Regional Arts Commission, based locally here in town, they are incredibly supportive to local festivals, local events, local artists, musicians. They put their money where their mouth is. They care about the scene, and they put money into the scene. So we're thrilled to be working with them. They've been a wonderful addition. And just a shout out to both of those sponsors for their belief in us, So thank you. Put your money where your mouth is, and we appreciate it every single day. If you out there in podcast land or YouTube land or however you're digesting this delicious morsel, delicious morsel, I was trying to be funny, of content, check it out. Wanted to hit up a few little business items, a little bit of housekeeping, a little bit of info for you, the people out there. I don't know if you follow the Grammys, but Open Highway alumni artist Molly Tuttle won a Grammy for Best Bluegrass Album with Crooked Tree. Behind the scenes, she was just such a sweet person and amazing artist. You should totally check out Molly Tuttle and Golden Highway. She has a lot of stuff with that band, which I believe is her touring and recording band right now. But she plays with some heavy hitters. She's extremely well respected in the bluegrass world, and just anybody who kind of pays attention to cool players. I mean, I think that, I play guitar. I'm not trying to be a guitar hero, but I'm always looking around for the next cool musician who's bringing something different to the table that I wish I could do. And Molly Tuttle is definitely one of those artists, so check her out. She's great. We have a brand new merch store. It's cool. We got all kinds of Open Highway swag, shirts, hats, bags, and we're going to be adding a few limited edition items here in the next couple of weeks. And while I got your attention, one of my favorite days of the year in terms of music is Record Store Day. It's a celebration of independent record stores across the country. This year, Jason Isbell and his wife Amanda are the record store ambassadors. And I will be spinning music that I like at Vintage Vinyl on Record Store Day, which is Saturday, April 22nd. It's going to be a group of people playing outside, bunch of bands, live music, and inside you could buy records from your favorite artists at one of the great record stores in America, Vintage Vinyl. Shout out to them. And also shout out to Euclid Records. We're working with both of those stores this year. Like I said, you support us by buying tickets. If you want to support musicians and record stores, go buy some records. Our next guest is a fan favorite, a musician favorite, just a favorite of people in St. Louis, Mattie Schell. She's part of the River Kittens, and she just released her own record. Just a week or two ago. Yeah, it's City Winery. Make sure you check it out. She was great to chat with. Known her for a long time, and we get into some good stories. And then we do the sharing is caring rapid fire questions. So stick around for that. I think you'll like it. Thanks for watching our podcast. Thanks for listening to our podcast. Take care. Peace.
Hey, John Henry. Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Coming from live from lovely Benton Park.
Are you coming live from? Where are you coming live from?
I'm coming from St. Charles, Mo, yo.
Oh,
You're
St.
coming.
Charles.
You're coming
I've
live.
come that far.
That's right. With the
Represent.
butterflies. Yeah, yeah. So I've known you. I've known about you longer than I've known you personally. Goes back to the Grafton days of the Piasol pub, right? And the different
Exactly.
bars
I
up
was
there.
I was partying with your parents long before I met you.
Yep. Yep. And they would
Uh,
always tell me stories about how great you guys were. And then I started seeing your name playing more in the St. Louis area, it seemed like.
Yeah, you know what? It took me a few years in between Grafton and St. Louis, like to get here. I lived in North Carolina for a few years, and went through sort of like a breakup, and then moved home. And it was the first time, even though I was 27 or so, it's the first time I had lived in St. Louis ever, even though I grew up an hour away. And even then, it took me a couple of years to meet the River Kittens. So I had a little hiatus, honestly, from playing music where I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. So I'm glad I came back to St. Louis.
Yeah, it's working out well. I think, you're one of the fan favorites around town, I feel like, in whatever project you're involved in.
Well, that's very flattering. I hope that's true. I worked really hard to get to that point and made a lot of friends that helped me get there. So
well, that's a huge part of the whole game. So how'd the City Winery show go?
Oh man, it was awesome. You know what? That place, it's a chain, and I had played a few city wineries in other cities.
Yeah.
The same one's cool though, because you can't beat the food court on the on the outside.
Yeah.
Honestly. And just the whole like complex of it, but it's beautiful in there. It's just like natural wood everywhere. I had my friend JD Simo come to he headlined, which is like, a dream come true that I'm even working with him at all, let alone that he would come and have his band back me. So it was really special. And honestly, most of the audience were shells. So,
yeah.
we really take over the place sometimes.
You're like an army. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you recorded your latest project with JD Simo and his band, correct?
Yeah, the JD Simo trio, I think he calls it now. It's JD, his bass player Todd, and then his drummer Adam. And their last names are kind of hard to pronounce, so I won't even go there.
Yeah.
But they're, amazing fucking musicians. They're Nashville cats that, I mean, when I went down there to record, they already had their Nashville charts there. I mean, it took them
ready to rock.
2 takes of what I did, what took me a year to perfect,
Right.
Which is the beauty of those charts and the beauty of professionals like them. But yeah, we went down. I recorded. I actually am going back down next week to finish it. But I think at the end it'll be 8 or 9 songs, so it'll be a full length album and all done. JD Simo's basement, probably all done live. There's no headphones, no isolation, booths,
everything
nothing like
together.
that. Just straight up fucking rock and roll, straight in the room.
Very cool. Very
That's
cool.
what JD does.
Yeah, well, that's an exciting new direction. Excited to hear some of those songs maybe coming up here in your show, with Open Highway, the show with us, and then also just around town this summer. Are you staying busy this summer? You're one of the hardest working folks in terms of road work in St. Louis. It's crazy. It's so much touring
There's been a lot of road. Yeah, there's a lot of road, a lot of tour, a lot of local. I mean, just because you're touring and this better than anyone doesn't mean that you're working harder than someone that's at home locally. Matter of fact, the people that just bust out the gigs 5-6 nights a week, people like Sean Cannon and people like Drew Lance and people, just people that are just always Jacob Baxter.
Sean Cannon. Oh,
Go ahead. What'd you say?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was going to say Sean Cannon has come up in this podcast with a number of artists because it seems like everybody, excuse me, has worked with him in some capacity or the other. And it's I play a show with him a couple times a year, and it's like I'm in awe of the way he can take so much material and just break it down with his bands and just play so many different artists so well all the time.
Well, I can play different artists with different people.
Yeah.
And, because it's not the same band all the time. Maybe a few core members. But, him and the guys in the Mighty Pines, who are also mostly voodoo players, are the reason I met everyone in St. Louis and the reason I can't work that much. So that's like something I'm really grateful for when it comes to, working hard or gigging in the St. Louis scene or touring at all. Sorry, I had to put that down. Oh
no, you're all good. Like I think that one of the kind of key elements I think to this whole thing is just being good to work with and a good person to deal with all the time. And you're good at the hang, you're good at the show. You know what I mean? It's not just the show with what goes on with touring. It's so many other little things that you have to learn how to do.
It is about the hang. It's always about the hang.
It's always about the hang.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of hang, let's do something fun here. We're going to bring this back. This is called Sharing is Caring. We're going to just rip off 5 quick questions and you just give us the way you're feeling now.
I feel like I'm on, I've seen this on they do it for celebrities on Vogue, but they do 20 questions or something.
I have seen that. Yeah. I'm super original with this, I'm just I'm breaking new ground here in podcast world.
Well, hey, we're on Zoom. They don't do it on Zoom, right?
Yeah. So where you at on that? Okay, ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Favorite place for lunch in St. Louis?
Okay, so you
could do a few. You could.
Well, I've seen you ask this question to the Funky Butt guys, them, and they already took Blue City Deli, but
yeah.
It's not just because of the proximity, but I can walk there and it is fucking fire.
Yeah. Yeah. They should put that on their sign. It's fucking fire
every time. Yeah. Guaranteed or your money back.
Yeah, guaranteed. That'd be good.
But I will say that Nate and I love going to Lulu's Chinese and dim sum on Olive and just dropping $70 on lunch sometimes.
All your tour earnings. Yeah.
It is all of them. Yeah. Just go all out and we get everything we want and don't hold back. And sometimes you'll bring friends. It's better with friends, but sometimes we'll go just the two of us and drop
just do it.
Yeah. Just get dirty.
All right. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream instrument that you wish you had?
Oh. That I wish I had?
Yeah, or one that you love that you would like to play, record.
I wish that I was a drummer.
You wish you were a drummer.
Truly, all the way. Wish I was a drummer that Levon Helm that could sing at the same time.
You could figure out how to do that.
I can do it a little, but not good enough.
Just get in there. Just get in the reps.
I'm gonna work on it.
What's a song or record that's living in your head rent free right now? Or I don't know, the kids are saying that. What's a song or record that you're really into?
Yeah, living in my head rent free. That makes sense to me, but we're close to the same age. Yeah. This sounds like I'm an asshole, but I have been working on those songs because I'm going my own songs. I've been working on them to JD's, so I literally can't get one of my own songs out of my head, but to the point where it's annoying. And before that, we did the American Beauty and Stage Fright show at Off Broadway.
Yeah.
And that's all I listened to for a good 2 months. And I never got sick of that. But it was still in my, rent free in my head.
I got you.
Especially just another Whistle Stop and W.S. Walcott Medicine Show. Those two were heavily on rotation.
That's very cool. Where's a place that you go that where you find happiness?
Home. Honestly, I like being at home. Yeah. I love walking up to the Venice Cafe, and I love going to Grafton, Alton, Jerseyville. So honestly, all of those places are just another version of home.
Extension of home. Yeah, that's a great answer.
I feel like that's most people, but yeah, home.
Cool. What is your favorite mundane part of being on the road?
Well, we were talking about the hang. There's always the hang.
Yeah.
Really just like the milling in and out of the venue all day. Like if we're on a big tour, like on a bus or something, and you're on Allman Family Revival and there's 20, 30 people on this tour with you, you have different pockets of people that you have different inside jokes with.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it's constant all day, and you may be exhausted, but like I still can't go to my bunk and on the bus like fall asleep all day for the most part, because I'm just like, well, I wonder what Craig's doing up there like in Guitar World, or I wonder what Nate's doing at the sound booth, or I wonder what.
Right.
So I have FOMO so hard the whole tour, even though I'm out there.
That's great.
And I'm like, don't go to sleep. There's someone's hanging out, And then also, Jackson Stokes had come up with a slogan that we'd have a day off, J off. So if you have a day off on the road, it's like every time you walk off the bus, there's a different circle of people.
Yeah.
Smoking a joint or hanging out. Where are we going to eat? What are we,
Yeah.
And also, if you ever have a day off and you're in a town that has hibachi, even though it's so basic, most fun thing you can go do with your
just go to hibachi
with your tour mates, yeah, because it's just so ridiculous.
That's like one of those Brian Eno studio recording cards, like oblique things that when you're stuck in the studio, you pick up a card and it tells you what to do next. It's like go to hibachi, because it's going to make your band happier.
Smoke a J and go to hibachi.
Yeah. Well, that's perfect. And I think that's a perfect way to wrap this up.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Do you want to plug any new music or a particular website or merch or anything right now?
I do have a new single out. It came out last week, and it's on Spotify and iTunes and wherever you listen to it. It's called Let You Let Me.
Let You Let Me. Okay.
Mattie Schell.
We will link that.
And of course, Open Highway Music Festival.
What Open Highway? Yeah. Oh, we'll be pushing that for sure. Don't you worry. It's like people only do things because they get paid. That's just really sad.
No, that's always true.
Always. No, I'm just joking. This is great. This has been great catching up with you.
Yeah, man. Good to talk to you. Tell your Donna and John I said hey.
I will. Those are my parents. You folks out there in podcast land.
Oh, I'm sure they're gonna listen.
They're gonna listen. They told me I got to be happier. I got to seem happier in the next one. So, yeah, we're crushing it.
You'll be like, I smiled when she said day off, Mom.
She's like, oh my God. All right. So, well, this has been so much fun. Good catching up with you. Excited to hear more music with the new project, and obviously at the festival as well.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
See ya.
Thank you for joining us for the second episode of the Backstage at Open Highway podcast. I'm John Henry. Please like and subscribe. Share this on YouTube. Click the bell. Hit the subscribe. I'm literally just repeating what I hear all YouTube videos say, and you know what I'm talking about. But if you want to hear this, we'd love for you to listen. So I hope you enjoyed the interview with Mattie. We'll be back real soon with the next episode. Thank you again so much for supporting us in our festival, for buying tickets, for spreading the word. So we really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll talk soon. Thanks a lot. Peace.